yesterday. What was it like seeing him get his first career hit?
Yeah, it was great. I mean, ended up unfortunately kind of being the highlight of the game, but just to see him get rewarded for, how long it took him, but also how hard he worked to get here. And then since he's been here, Wash and I were talking mid-game, he's kind of been on a mission to show that he wants to put in work, but also that he wants to be a good teammate. So good to see. And I mean, it's kind of crazy, the unfamiliarity, to be honest with you, when a guy arrives. But the first thing you notice during BP, it's a loud bat. So when he gets it on the barrel, he's obviously got some strength and drove it over the left fielder's head there.
You've talked a lot about Arise being a guy that plays with a lot of joy. He seems like maybe that kind of player.
Yeah,
do you see that?
yeah, I think so. I mean, I think he just obviously is in love with the game, but mainly just in love with being at the park. You can tell throughout the game, obviously beforehand, and some other guys have picked up that energy too. I feel, I don't know, we'll talk with those guys. Maybe there's a little bit of fall off today. I think it's an extra challenge on the day game, especially after you lose in the fashion we did last night. But I think I've said repeatedly to you all, I think it's important for those guys to build on the vibe that they showed they can do. If you can do it once, you can do it again. So maybe a little bit of that could have pushed us over today. But obviously a topic at one point is just the one inning was a pretty good punch in the gut and was for the most part the difference in the game.
What do you see going on with Carson, just sort of consistently?
I mean, I don't think any one thing. I don't like hyping up one pitch, but Nimmo obviously insided out that one on Seymour. He was kind of the guy of the day. Just a slider backed up into his bat and could have got out of the inning, left on left there. And then, Berger, the pitch was located. He just wrapped around it and got it down the line. But the other two, Foscue, I think, was supposed to be up. That one was in. And then the other one was supposed to be in, and it was up. So when he missed a couple times, he got hit. And then if you want to call it bad luck or whatever, a good hitter like Berger doing what he did, it all ends up being a storm. So, but if I was going to pick one out, just that slider backing up to lefty. And I think just rounding out that arsenal and being equally good to both right-handed hitters, left-handed hitters, and being more accurate to his spots. I mean, I know pitch calling is a topic and things like that, but I've just always been a big believer the best pitch is the one you execute or that you throw at your target. And these guys are so good at this level. If you miss your target, they can make you pay.
You guys had a lot of opportunities out there, left 11 men on base. It seemed like you just couldn't get the big hit, especially against Bradford when he had some chances.
Yeah, I looked up there on the scoreboard a couple times, and I'm not too huge into that stat because you got to get on base to be left on base, and it's never a bad thing to be fighting your way on the base. But this was a day where at some point we needed either a 2-out hit or maybe a big hit with a couple of those guys on. It just didn't come. But at the same time, Bradford, was like a few guys we've seen this year and a few guys we've had for us, gets his first opportunity and just kind of runs with it. I thought he did a pretty good job of pitching his way out of damage.
So if you look at the lineup, 2/3 of it spent most of the year in the minor leagues. Same goes for the pitchers you rolled out there today. Like, how do you plan on just competing at the major league level with the roster?
Yeah, they're here, so they're major leaguers. Completely understand your question, but they're here. They're in that locker room, and we got the organization to represent. So find a way is the only answer to that. And certainly all those guys are capable of doing. The last guy we just had on the mound rolled out against the Dodgers, Braves, two of the better records in the league, and threw it about as well as you can. So again, I would kind of fall back on Bill Miller used to talk about, and his father would talk about the word overachieving is kind of I don't know, I think it's an appropriate word, but they'd call it a misnomer because if you can achieve, you can do it, then you can do it again. So it just might be a great challenge. So that's why we're all here.
Is Seymour strictly a reliever now? Where do you kind of see him?
I think because he's been able to maintain length with those guys and then with us today, I think today was a little bit more weird, a swing point there where really wanted to get Foley back out there after kind of an awkward stretch and see what Beck could do again. But he's maintained a decent enough pitch count that you could give him a start. It'd probably just be asking too much to get him to 100 pitches or something crazy like that. But like a few guys in the organization, it could go one way or the other, and it might have something to do with what he does, but it also could be external or outside of his control.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.